Well, team, we've been in big planning mode for a few trips actually, specifically Portugal for this winter, and we're also heading down to the USA very soon.
I know, very exciting.
So that brings us to today's topic, which is hotels v Airbnb. But before we get into this weighty subject, we're Tina and Norm, and we run a channel called This Is Our Retirement because all the stories that we tell and our experiences is from our retirement.
And also, I see you're sporting another wonderful t-shirt, Norm.
Yeah, we're cheating on Giant Tiger. We went to Mark's Works Warehouse.
Yes.
Unbeknown to us, they have rock t-shirts.
They had a great selection.
And I have been after the tragically hip t-shirt for you don't know how long. And there it was.
Yep.
Right on the shelf.
The perfect one that you wanted, hey, Norm?
Now we're having to pay big bucks for these ones. Not like Giant Tiger.
No, we had to increase the budget, didn't we?
We did. So we were able to get a couple of really nice t-shirts there. And Tragically Hip, one of our favourite bands from Canada. Hotel v Airbnb team.
Oh, this is quite a fiery topic, Norm, at the moment. And it's kind of funny because if you remember years back, we used to really love Airbnb, didn't we?
We were early adopters of Airbnb because it had so many advantages over hotels.
Yeah.
They were cheap.
They were great value, and particularly one, Norm, I remember when we were in Edinburgh. Was absolutely fantastic. We were right in the heart of Edinburgh and we absolutely loved it.
That was a great trip.
Yeah, we really loved the place we stayed in.
And we met the host and he was such a charming gentleman, and we had a great discussion with him. He told us about his experiences and gave us recommendations, and that was one of the advantages of Airbnb, was meeting the host on check-in. But things have changed. Our preference now has gone away from Airbnb, primarily because of it's no longer cheaper.
No, I think the prices are really skyrocketed compared to when we were looking before, Norm. Yeah. And another thing too is that seems to be happening an awful lot is cancellations by them for no reason. And we ourselves had that. We'd booked a place in Cascais in Portugal.
Yep.
We had the flights booked, the cruise booked, everything. And 2 days before we left, the host just cancelled on us. We were horrified, weren't we?
We were.
We were left high and dry. Now, we did work with Airbnb they found us somewhere else, but the stress was awful.
Oh, it's through the roof.
Yeah.
And these cancellations weren't isolated to that. We've had 3 cancellations in total. I booked an Airbnb for a business trip to Toronto. Once again, less than a week going there, they cancelled, saying that they needed the room for a relative. Well.
Yeah, and I think you'd actually paid for that one too, Norm.
I had, and the other sneaky trick that Airbnb hosts do to you is they say you have to cancel, because it's a big black mark when you do that, and they want that big black mark against your account, not their account, so they can keep their 5-star rating. The other thing that we noticed, especially in Portugal, was a lot of the Airbnbs didn't have heat or air included in the price. They didn't have heat. We were looking at that for this coming trip. Yeah. And to be honest with you, in January, February and March, in Portugal, it's great weather.
Yeah.
But the evenings can get chilly, and the type of construction in Portugal means that the interiors are colder than the exteriors. And we would flick on a heater every now and then, just to take the chill off.
In fact, in all our past visits to Portugal, we have used the heat all the time. And it is really important. And as Norm says, a lot of the places we've just been looking at not only didn't have the unit, those that had the unit were now then charging you for hydro and internet. So that's a double whammy, because actually hydro prices have gone up really high in Portugal, so
Massive.
you could get quite a big bill at the end of your stay.
Well, at least 200 euros.
Yeah.
The other thing that we noticed, and we've got our flights booked for Portugal,
Yeah.
so we got those because the early flights fill up quickly going from Toronto. So we're booked onto a flight.
Yes.
So we want to secure the accommodation. But on Airbnb, if we book it, we pay now. So here we are, October, November time, wanting to go January, February or March. If you're arriving in February, you've already paid for your Airbnb in October or November.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 months before you're actually going to be there, which we were starting to feel really uncomfortable about that. That is really paying way too far in advance for something.
Well, we want the interest on our
Yeah.
money. We're not giving it to somebody else.
No, that's very true.
How about those cleaning fees, Tin?
Oh, we noticed that every quote we went on had cleaning fees, service fees. In fact, we had never seen so many fees. And the one thing which is really strange, and we did find that when we did stay in them, is they expect you to do quite a bit of cleaning before you leave. They want you to strip the beds, take it all off, put it in the washer, do all the garbage, get rid of the garbage. Basically, you actually are doing the cleaning job. And then they charge you the cleaning fee for doing it as well. Isn't it? Which,
Very much so.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we have found with the average Airbnb, and we're not saying this is typical because there are some gorgeous Airbnbs that are very well equipped and it's just like moving into somebody's home. But the ones that are more aimed with people who are investors, who are just buying it, it seems in Portugal, they just go to IKEA and buy the absolute minimum. We've been in Airbnbs where there are no lamps, it was just overhead lights.
Oh, yeah.
No pictures on the wall, no coffee table. And the other thing is, in the kitchen, minimal utensils, minimal pans.
Yeah, I remember, Norm, that we'd been going out and buying little glasses and buying
flippers.
egg flippers and things like that because they just didn't have the things that we were used to. And because we stay in an apartment to do our own cooking, you really need these little things, don't you?
You do indeed.
Yeah.
So how does the hotel advantage stack up? These are what you would term apart hotels.
Yeah.
And we've stayed in them in Portugal, in the USA, in the UK. That one in Edinburgh was an apart hotel. So one of the big things is that we can book that now, today, and for Portugal, they're only asking for a 200 euro deposit, and you pay the balance on arrival. In the US, we've just booked a hotel that has an apartment for a long stay, and they haven't asked for any money. We pay when we arrive.
Which we like that. In
Love
fact,
it.
we've actually split the trip to Portugal in 3 different places, haven't we? And as Norm said, one wanted a small deposit, but the other 2, nothing. We don't pay till we get there, which we thought was great. It was really good. Yeah.
No cancellations in hotels. They don't have a relative coming in from out of town and throw you out.
We've never had that, have we?
No,
but
we
another
haven't.
thing we really, really like too is better security. We do feel a lot safer when we are staying in an apartment within a hotel.
We really do,
yeah.
because the hotel is invested in their own security.
Yeah.
So they do have cameras in the reception area, in entranceways, so they can monitor who's coming in. There's also an elevator that you have to get through. Many of the medium to upper end hotels, you have to have a room key card to operate the elevator, otherwise you just stand there and the doors open and close.
That's very true. That is another big level of security, isn't
And
it?
then when you get to your apartment in the hotel, there's a lock on the door. and you're in a enclosed corridor. So there's many security steps before somebody can get to your room.
I think another thing too, Norm, is that we like that they have a safe in the room too, whereas a lot of Airbnbs wouldn't have a safe, so you could leave your valuable stuff or just keep it somewhere safe. We like that too.
Because we do travel with cameras, because if you know our stock photography, and we do travel with a laptop. And when we're not using them, we like to secure them in a safe. And so that's another advantage. One thing you don't get in an Airbnb is daily cleaning, or even if you're there for a month or 2 months, you don't get clean towels or sheets.
No.
That's down to you to find a washing machine.
Yeah, and a lot of the Airbnbs don't actually have a washing machine in, so that's the beauty of the hotel, is they will change the towels daily and sheets at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. And we really like that somebody comes in and does it all, so we don't have to do it, and it's rather nice. It's a nice extra touch.
And when we are in a long stay, as we have been in Portugal in an apart hotel, we were at one, we just asked them, could you just come in every 3 days?
Yeah.
We didn't need sheets every day.
No.
And the towels we can make last for maybe 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Also in that apart hotel, the frying pan was a bit grungy. So I said to the very, very nice Portuguese room service person, a woman, didn't understand English, but I showed her the frying pan, and so she took that, went away, came back 5 minutes later with a brand new frying pan.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Don't get that in Airbnb.
No, that was a really nice touch.
So also, depending on the hotel and how much you're paying, even with an apartment hotel, you often can have breakfast included, which is a great advantage.
Yeah, that is a plus. In fact, a couple of the places that we are staying in, we have breakfast included, and that is really nice. It's kind of a bit of a treat, isn't it, to have breakfast?
Yeah, and it's just one less meal to cook. But if they're very repetitious, like they are in the US, where it's the same old little omelette and scrambled egg and sausage, then you have your own kitchen, and you can rustle something up more to your preference to get variety.
And if needs be, you don't have to go every day. If you prefer to cook sometimes in your own apartment, then you can alternate, go down, and that's great. Gives you choice.
And of course, what brings this, makes Tina horror-struck, is that we do intermittent fasting every now and then. So we don't eat breakfast and go through till lunch, which Tina is not a fan of that.
Oh, actually, that's what we're doing at the moment as we are filming this, isn't it?
You'll probably hear our stomachs rumbling.
Because we haven't eaten anything yet, so we're going to eat just before lunch, which will be nice. Another plus too, Norm, is the social aspect of staying within a hotel. A lot of them will have a bar. Some will have a happy hour. They'll certainly have areas where they have nice, cozy chairs. You could go down and sit and, you know, mingle with other guests if there are other people staying there. That's kind of nice if you're on a long stay for like a month at a time.
It is.
Yeah.
We all have that urge to have social contact, and once again, you can meet fellow guests and have a drink and just pass away a few hours. Obviously, in an Airbnb, you're very much isolated from that. The other really nice thing that is available, and Tina loves this, is a swimming pool.
Oh, yes.
Or maybe a gym.
Yes. And in fact, some of them will have an outdoor pool if it's warm enough, but a lot of them will have an indoor pool too. So that means I can swim no matter what the weather's like outside, which is kind of nice.
And on top of that, you've got the loyalty points, which we are collecting. So whenever we stay at a hotel, we'll join their loyalty scheme just in case we stay again. So we are collecting points because they go towards free nights. So on this trip to the US, we joined the Best Western loyalty program. And by the time we come back from that, we'll be a top tier member.
That's going to be awesome, isn't it?
And get free nights in a hotel.
Yeah. And what we're going to do is, because we're going to be staying in hotels going down and coming back, we'll generally pick a hotel in one of the programs that we've got. So they will add up. And often when you're staying there, they'll either upgrade you or give you some extra freebies or something while you're there. So that kind of makes it fun while you're going to your vacation. So we like that too.
We've had little goodie bags, and on 2 of our loyalty point schemes, Hilton and Marriott, we'll both get a bottle of water for free as well.
All nice little touches, aren't they?
So the thing with hotels and Airbnbs, they're pretty much the same thing. You can get a 1-bedroom apartment in a hotel, and you can get a 1-bedroom apartment in Airbnb. But our preference has gone away from Airbnb. When you get your quote on Airbnb, years ago, it just used to be the rent that the host charged. There was always a cleaning fee, but they were quite modest.
Yeah.
And Airbnb took its cut from the rent that the host posted. Now, you see that Airbnb has put their commission underneath that. So you've got what the host wants, what the cleaning fee, and then that service fee seems to be Airbnb's commission. And that's why they're more expensive. We almost were being charged in Portugal $700 in cleaning and service fees. So
Just crazy, wasn't it? So we decided not to bother, didn't we?
went back to our hotel idea. And in the Algarve, there's tons of these apart hotels, just as there are in the USA. And there's quite a few in the UK as well, and I'm sure all over Europe. So that's our tale of woe, hotel v Airbnb, and why we don't stay at Airbnb anymore.
So we hope that everybody is staying safe.
And keeping well.
Until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.